What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Dragonheir Silent Gods video. Today, I want to talk about 6 epic heroes that are better than legendaries, guys. You know the drill. We have a lot of amazing epics, a lot of amazing legendaries, but some of them always stand out. First, I want to say a big thank you to Dragonheir for sponsoring today's video. Now, if you guys are new to the channel by any chance, or you haven't tried Dragonheir Silent Gods just yet, or you want to help and support the channel, you can download the game by clicking the link in the description down below, or in the pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. Now, we're going to do this in a bit of a different way, guys. While we are talking about the champions, and I'm kind of like giving you all sort of ideas why they're good and stuff, I will show you what are the best builds for Season 2, and I will explain you why I gained a lot of value from these champions in these builds, and where exactly I use them like this. So we're gonna go in the same order like the elemental affinities. Funny enough, I ended up with one from each elemental affinity. I just kind of like digressed on a few of them, and I was like, okay, this is better than the other one. Should I just pick this one? This is a damage dealer. It's an amazing damage dealer, but these champions just bring in so much more stuff to the table, you know? So yeah, I ended up with one from each elemental affinity. I'm going to start directly with Adolphus, guys. Now, some of them are at level 99, some of them are at level 100. Adolphus is this amazing champion that gives you shield, and if you have shield already on, he will give you healing instead. Now, he will give ultimate energy with a battle skill to one of your allies, and it will give them a shield. Now, this is a massive, massive trick, for example, in the Grave of Venom. When you go in the Grave of Venom, you will have pretty much a very common issue. Your tank will instantly die, because they have no support from a battle skill. That's why using champions like Adolphus, champions like Gillian, champions like Hexandra, champions like Catherine, champions like Gillian or Vinera, I'm not sure which one I mentioned before, that have a battle skill that instantly gives you a healing in the first 5-6 seconds is massive. And that's what Adolphus does. He gives you a massive shield that helps to keep your tank alive. Now, I'll be very honest, in Season 2, the best build for Adolphus is, without a question, the Moonlight set. So you want to have a 3-piece Moonlight set on him, and this will give you extra healing on the ally with the lowest HP whenever he's using an ultimate skill. And that is massive. It doesn't require the accuracy. That's a bit of a bummer. That's how the set is in Season 2. And yes, we do have quite a few new gear sets in Season 2, guys, that they might be looking different. Some of the actual effect changed from Season 1, or they're completely new, okay? And some of the old ones are replaced by new ones, okay? And Moonlight set is one of them. In Season 1, we had sets that gained Enlightenment and HP, right? Now, Adolphus is a champion very needy in terms of Enlightenment and HP. So the higher the Enlightenment on him, the higher the shield he generates for your team. His multipliers are actually the following. So you can click on details and you can see deals attack, damage, and Enlightenment, which doesn't really matter. What matters is the second part, and grants a 15% target's max HP plus 3150 Enlightenment shield to all allies. So the higher the Enlightenment on him, the more shield you're going to offer to your ally, and that is absolutely massive. It's very important. So when I'm building my Adolphus, I'm looking at an artifact that will possibly give me a better shield, give me more Enlightenment. So in this case, I have the Antinias Tiara. I only have this artifact at level 12, and I have Enlightenment and defense from this. And I'm gaining 15% more shield. Now, if you guys watched my video yesterday where we actually talked about the new boss, the new rewards, the new D&D event coming to Dragonheir, we actually had a sneak peek at the artifact that comes together with Elmister, and that artifact basically increases the value of the shield by 25% more and its duration by 30%. So that is going to be an insane, insane artifact. And as stats, it gives HP and Enlightenment. So it's going to be massive. Now, you don't really have many artifacts that benefit champions that shield a lot. You have the Vest, which I have on Atheniel at the moment, and that gives you HP and defense, but it doesn't give you Enlightenment. Instead, it will give you damage reduction on all of your allies when you apply a shield on them, you know, when they are under the shield. So that is still a very strong option for Adolphus. You can use either one of them. I do prefer the vest if you have it available, of course, but if no, Anti-Nias Tiara is just perfect. And I'm quickly going to show you what pieces of gear I have on him. So I focus on Enlightenment and survivability usually. Enlightenment being my main priority. Enlightenment chest piece. Then I have the gloves right here with Enlightenment substat preferably. Enlightenment rune. And again, preferably to have Enlightenment on everything as a substat because I want to stack a lot of Enlightenment. This is Adolphus, guys. This is how I build him. This is how I'm gaining a lot of value out of this champion in Season 2. It's very important to have the Moonlight set. Having that extra healing is so powerful. Now, the next epic hero that's better than a legendary, guys, of course, is going to be Frorbart. And my god, he is really a beast. Now, in this season, I do agree that I felt like Garius was way more powerful. And it might have to do with me getting the Gatekeeper staff, the legendary artifact for Garius, which is such a game changer. And overall, both of these two epic tanks are insane, better than a lot of legendary tanks actually, and they're just offering you a lot of value. Frorbart tanks, brings you increased defense in dungeons, gives you a healing with his battle skill, which is so freaking powerful. A lot of people underestimate that battle skill, but for a Vortex team, especially while you're progressing all the way to the 4th difficulty, he can keep your team alive alone, which is crazy. Then, of course, we have attack down on the ultimate, a very good activator for champions like Sigrid or other things like that. I have him built as well on a Moonlight set this time around. Now, initially, an Ancestor Protection set was great. If I would run him in the Vortex and he would be the single hit target, if I would run him in the Grave of Venom, if I would run him in places where he's struggling to stay alive, I would most probably, without a doubt, use an Ancestral Protection set instead of the Moonlights. But at the moment, I have the Scarab Amulet, which helps him to stay alive anyway, so I feel like I'm getting more value from the Moonlight set, and I'm going to explain you exactly why I have this set. Now, usually, you can run this character with Witch's Remains. You can run him with the Crown of the Unclean if you want to get the accuracy. Incense Burner is another decent artifact for him. So let me just quickly show you as well while I'm naming them. You know, like this is a good one. You have the Spiritual Incense Burner, and you do have legendary ones that again really stand out on him. So for example, let's start with Witch's Remains. It's great. I do prefer to have this on multi-hitters. Then we have, of course, the Solar King's Horn. If you're running Frorbart in the Vortex and you have a legendary artifact like the Solar King Horn, use it on him because it's like it's his own exclusive, honestly. He constantly heals with the battle skill, and these constantly stack up, right? So you're getting a 5% damage stack, up to 3 stacks, and is absolutely amazing on Frorbart. Even the Drugos Blast Jar can be helpful if he's struggling to survive, but I find that the Scarab sometimes is more effective on him. Now, you still want to gain your accuracy, so you do want to build him with an accuracy banner. The reason why I'm able to do it without using an artifact is because I have a Moonlight set. Now, this build is more specific for the world bosses in Season 2 for me, for Losenia. I find it extremely hard to keep this champion alive in there. So I decided to go with a Moonlight set, and I do feel like I'm getting a lot of value out of it. On top of it, for the Pillar of Trials, again, I'm gaining more value out of this set because I get to heal. And the Ancestral Protection set is amazing. Like, you're getting the damage reduction. So for the Grave of Venom, I would use that. You know, it's more effective in there for mitigating the damage early on, because if he's dead by the time he's using the ultimate, a Moonlight set won't be helpful at all in there, you know? So it really depends exactly what sort of plans you have with him. But this is what I have on my Frorbart, and his total stats are approximately 79k HP, 4.7k defense, 230 accuracy, 26 skill haste. The rest really doesn't matter. Now, if you are using him as a tank against Stalwart, the world boss in Season 2, the Chaos Shadow world boss, you will probably want to build him with resistance, and that will be a bit harder to achieve. But this is the helmet that I have on him. You see, HP and defense, that's what I'm prioritizing. survivability and accuracy, funny enough. Defense, chest piece, HP, accuracy. And this is an attack from an attack set, but it doesn't matter. You have the 3 pieces from one set and then a random one. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And of course, defense gloves, flat defense, not fat defense, flat defense next to the accuracy. I would have preferred this crit damage to be HP percentage, but hey, it didn't happen. HP rune here, I would like a defense one because the more defense you have on him, the bigger the healing from his battle skill. But this is just too good of a rune to don't use it. And the defense one that I have, they don't have defense percentage on them, unfortunately. And I have an accuracy negative rune. This is my Flurbard, guys, and honestly, I gained massive value from him in this current build. The next one that we have on the list is going to be Nathaniel this time around, and I do think he is at level 99 as well, if I'm not mistaken. Now, very similar, funny enough, this is the third champion that I have built on a Moonlight set. This just shows how powerful it is in Season 2 to have this set active. I'm currently only using him against the world bosses. Now, this is a character that's extremely efficient for Arena, is extremely efficient for a lot of PvE content. The more enemies he hits, the bigger the shield. So with the passive, he's giving you a bit of a healing every time a buff expires. With the battle skill, he dispels a debuff from all of the allies that are in close proximity to him and gives you a bit of healing. With the ultimate skill, gives you a shield, okay? And that is very helpful. Now again, I have him on a Moonlight set. The main stats that you want to prioritize on him, survivability and enlightenment. The more enlightenment, the bigger the shield again, because very similar with Adolphus, he has similar multipliers. I forgot that he gives you defense up as well with the ultimate skill, actually. Funny enough. There you go. Even more things. That's why he's better than some of the legendary champions in the game. Funny enough. And these are the total stats that I have on him. You know, like, he doesn't have the most insane survivability. He's not really the tank. He's just there to support the rest of the team. But I would like more enlightenment. Now, I do have the Aurelium vest on him. And very similar with Adolphus, you could run Antinaia's Tiara if you don't have the legendary artifact, which is the case most probably. So this one right here is the best, hands down, as an epic or rare artifact. Again, I prioritized pretty much the exact same thing on him as I prioritized on Adolphus. The only thing is, some of the gear is not as good as on him. You see some of the pieces of gear are lacking enlightenment as a substat. Again, enlightenment chest, enlightenment rune, and this is a defense negative rune. He's very useful for me again against the Tolwar in the Chaos Shadow. At the moment, all my teams are literally focused on that. Now, he was extremely powerful to help me finish the Pillar of Trials. Extremely good in there. Especially on the boss. The boss puts poisons on you on every 10th floor, you know, and he was massive with the dispel from the battle skill. Now, Lightning pairs with poison this season, and him with Flurbard together are god tier. Absolutely godly. The next hero, guys, that is better than legendary heroes, and I feel like a lot of times we are talking about Voresh, you know, and I do value Garius and Flurbard way more than I'm valuing Voresh, even Adolphus, probably even Nathaniel. But Voresh, he can do a lot of things. He can deal damage. He can heal a bit. He can put block buffs on the enemies. With the battle skill, he even has a chance to remove buffs from the enemy, which makes him extremely effective against the Grave of Curse, makes him extremely effective against the Ancient Battlefield dungeon, makes him extremely effective against the Tempest Domain because they're buffing in there with the continuous heal. And overall, very strong for Arena 2, especially if you're trying to pair a Sigrid with him. Now, Frost is paired with Radiance this season, and he offers you healing with a passive, removes buff here, and the ultimate skill is what I like about him because he covers the entire area. Now, how you may notice, I currently have him on with the Witch's Remains. It's the ultimate best artifact for him. And the best set for Voresh is a stun set. Hands down, no questions asked, okay? You're getting so much value in the Pillar of Trials, in Arena, in Feymander, in dungeons, it's not a necessity to run a stun set. I feel like for the rest of the content, leaving the 3 areas on the side, running him with double skill haste sets gives you way more value out of this champion than a stun set. But when we're talking about Pillar, Fey, Arena, stun is the MVP. You can stun an enemy every time you deal damage, okay? Every time you inflict damage, you have a chance to stun. So think about the ultimate skill hitting the enemy 3 times, dealing damage 3 times, giving you 3 chances to stun the enemy. Then the battle skill again hits 3 times the target, if I'm not mistaken, yeah? Deals damage to the enemy 3 times, 3 times to stun. So he has so many chances to stun, guys, okay? Now, I have him built with a lot of attack. The more attack you have on him, the more healing you're getting back. Plus, he can deal some damage too. How I mentioned, he's a sneaky support champion that does them all, okay? I would love to have more crit rate on him, but unfortunately, I haven't really farmed a lot of Grave of Wrath this season, and my stun gear sucks, okay? Like, honestly. But I have the Witch's Remains. AoE defense down is beautiful. If you have this legendary artifact, use it. If no, probably I would run the Incense Burner. Crown of the Unclean won't really give you that much value because you can only put it on a target, but still is a good option because of the multi-hits. You want to use these 2 artifacts on allies that have multi-hits to increase your chance of landing the debuff, you know? But yeah, Witch's Remains, HP accuracy. Now, this is the helmet. For this build, I try to prioritize some damage, you know? Mainly, I wanted to make sure I have attack substat on everything, attack percentage. And then I looked at the rest of the things. Crit rate, accuracy, crit damage. Attack chest piece, attack gloves. So if I was going with crit rate gloves, it would have been better, but that's a no-no. Attack rune. This is a beautiful rune. Skill haste, crit rate, crit damage, attack. Perfect. Literally the perfect substats that you want to have on. And I have an accuracy negative rune. We need the accuracy to land the defense down, to land the block buffs, to steal buffs from the enemy, to land the stun. And I have decent substats on this. I like having skill haste on him to make him use the skills faster, but I would have liked to have some attack percentage in here. It would have been nice. So this is how you are getting insane value out of Furbar. These, they are more endgame builds, guys. So when you are slowly progressing through the game, making your way to the end game, the builds don't matter as much. You can use whatever you have as long as you're getting decent stats, you know? But double skill haste stats are what will give you good value for the Goblin and the rest. That's what I was running while I was progressing through the season. Moving over to the next epic champion that is better than legendary heroes. I'm gonna repeat this. I feel like I'm gonna repeat myself like 1,000 times, but it's fine. It's going to be Garius, no questions asked. And this season, he is the almighty tank in Dragonheir Silent Gods. Radiance and Frostbear together, the Vortex gets hammered. The world bosses get hammered. The dungeons get hammered. Everything gets hammered by the almighty Garius, including Arena together with Ardred. So this artifact right here is his exclusive. It's not an exclusive artifact, but is like it has been designed for this character. The more healing, the bigger the shield that you're getting on your team. And how you may notice, 100% of the overheal from the wearer will be equally converted into a shield. Now, Garius has this nasty ultimate skill that heals all of your team by 600% of his defense. Now, the more defense you have on him, the more healing he's getting. If you have increased defense, his passive will stack up the defense. If you have a defense aura, all these things will bring you an insane healing, okay? And this artifact is just perfect for him. So if you will ever have the options to buy multiple legendary artifacts, keep the Gatekeeper staff in mind for Garius because he's game changing. Plus, he dispels all debuffs from this hero, which makes him very annoying for Arena. Imagine Sigrid putting healing reduction on him. He'll be like, I don't care about you. Get out of here. I'm going to cleanse that and heal after, which makes him super hard to kill, you know? The defense aura, the passive stacking defense up, the battle skill putting hit recovery on himself too. Now, I have him built on a Ancestral Protection set. I feel like early game, mid game, late game, any season, the Ancestral Protection is the way to go for him. And the main thing you prioritize on Gyarius, he does not require accuracy. He does not necessarily require resistance unless you're planning a more niche build for some specific content. You want defense percentage everywhere, literally everywhere. Helmet, triple defense percentage, double defense percentage, defense main with a lot of HP, defense percentage, defense amulet with defense percentage, defense amulet with defense percentage, defense aura. You want as much defense on him as possible. Now this artifact gives me defense and gives me skill haste. That's why it's so amazing. Now if you would want to use a different artifact on him, probably again I would go with the Scarab King. That gives me 45% defense, helps me with the survivability. I would probably go with the Banner of Oath as a rare one if you don't have any of the epic ones that can be used on him, because maybe you haven't summoned enough epics just yet. The Banner is a decent rare option for him. And then from here, we're honestly moving over to the more important ones in terms of legendaries. Yeah, the Platinum Knight Shield is okay-ish, but not something that I would necessarily jump on, you know? Like, the Drugos Blast Jar is going to be massive as well. But of course, if you have the option to buy a legendary, go for the Gatekeeper stuff and forget about the Drugos Blast Jar, you know? Like, they do not compare. It's like a complete different world. I'm running Gyarius in every single dungeon as the tank. I'm running him against every single boss in the game as the tank. I'm running him as the tank in my main arena team too. That should say it all. Okay, that should say it all. Everywhere. And he is possibly the best epic tank, the best tank to stay alive in any dungeon, especially in the Grave of Venom. You have all those enemies hitting you, right? No other tank can survive as good as him. And the reason for it is that passive that stacks his increased defense quick, the hit recovery and the battle skill, and then the massive healing that he's providing, not only to himself, but to your entire team. So yeah, in a few words, this is Gyarius. And we are moving over to the last champion, the 6th. And I'll be honest, I was in a pickle here to pick Zarlot or to pick Questa. I love Questa. She's absolutely amazing. And I do think she's better than a lot of legendaries in the game. But because Zarlot can be more universal, I decided to go with this character. This is a damage dealer, a support, and as well as Voresh, he can work amazing on a stun set, okay? Now, I don't have him built on a stun set because I wanted to show you some more options. But a stun set on Zarlot is amazing. Feymander, Pillar of Trials, Arena is going to be top-notch. So, this character will heal on every 5th hit, if I'm not mistaken. 4th basic hit from the passive will heal the ally with the lowest HP and a chance to inflict silence on the enemy. The battle skill will put recharge speed penalty AoE. And the ultimate will summon a Nexus that will generate healing and damage, okay? And will have a chance to inflict fear. So having double AoE attacks, the Nexus constantly attacking, a stun set works amazing on him. And very powerful against the PvE content like the Feymander, the Pillar of Trials, and the PvP, which is Arena, you know? So keep that in mind. He can deal a lot of damage. He can bring in a lot of healing. So that is another good thing. The more enemies he hits, the more healing you're getting as well. I have him built on an Inventor set, and how I mentioned, a stun set works amazing. This build is more for the Chaos Shadow bosses. I already completed the Pillar of Trials. In the Fey, I'm not using Fire and Necrosis this season. I'm going with Radiance and Frost. But for whoever is using this, definitely keep that in mind. Now, I have the Eyeball of the Giant on him, guys, and the reason why I have this on him is because he's a damage build, right? But you see, I still have accuracy on him. Now, if you're struggling with accuracy, again, Crown of the Unclean is a solid option. Incense Burner is a solid option. Running Witch's Remains, a very, very solid option again. Running anything that will give you accuracy can be very helpful if that's what you're struggling with. If we're talking about damage, yes, Eyeball of the Giant all day long, no questions asked as an epic artifact till you get The new epic, the new legendary artifact from the Feymander, if you manage to get that one, is an amazing, amazing one. So the build that I have on him is the following. Not the best gear because, honestly, my inventor gear, even though I farmed quite a bit, is not that great. I gotta admit it, I've been pretty unlucky with the gear that I got this season. More unlucky than last season. Crit rate gloves to try and get as much crit rate as possible. The crit damage is pretty low because I am trying to keep up my accuracy too, you know, so it makes it a bit harder. I have a crit damage rune with accuracy and attack substat, and we have an accuracy negative rune focused on attack, crit rate, whatever else I have available. But yeah, Zarlot, very effective against pretty much everything in the game, guys. And this will do my 6 epics better than legendary heroes. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys might disagree or you might agree. Bring in an argument as well. Let me know why you disagree, why you think that some other epics are better than these ones, and why they belong in a top like this. I do think there are way more epics that are better than legendaries, but I just picked 6 of them. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Thanks again to Dragonheir for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys want to download the game, you can download it by using my link in the description down below or in the pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen. That was all for today. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.